Yo, people, what's going on? Back again. Footy talk settings. Lewis, what are you telling me, fam?
Yo, I'm ill as a motherfucker, but from a footballing perspective, things are good. Things are good. We're finally getting rid of Lukaku. It does mean we bring in VLAHOVIC. Best of two evils, in my opinion. I don't see why a lot of Chelsea fans are complaining about this move.
He can't be worse than Lukaku, and you need another forward.
Exactly. I've been looking at the strikers that we've had over the last 6 years. Last year it was Havertz, Aubameyang, and Broja. The year before it was Havertz and Lukaku and Werner. The year before it was Tammy, Giroud, and Werner. The year before that it was Tammy, Giroud, and Batshuayi. Then it was Higuain and Morata. Then it was Morata and Batshuayi. The only good one in there is Giroud. Now, if you told me a year ago that we'd have Nicholas Jackson, who's been this good in pre-season, and Dusan Vlahovic, why the fuck would I be complaining? This is quality competition. My only thing is that Nicholas Jackson must start. Vlahovic needs to show why he should be the number one. You need to show why you deserve to have those minutes. Jackson starts the Liverpool game for me. That's the only non-negotiable. Other than that, bring him in. We are finally getting Lukaku off the wage bills, and we're getting a striker who may have been let down by the system. May have. I will let Chelsea prove whether that's right or wrong, whatever.
But either way, you need to get rid of Lukaku anyway.
Exactly. Lesser of two evils, and it brings in a fresh striker who, to be fair, has had good stats in the last 2 years. It's not like the whole Havertz situation where you're ignoring 3 years to just say there's a good player. Here you're ignoring like 1 year, maybe a year and a half. Maybe there's something a little bit more different to this move. We'll see. Doesn't start for me right now. Quality depth. No reason to complain at all. Having Jackson and Vlahovic, that's insane to me, especially when he goes off to AFCON in January. I think we've got Liverpool away in that month, and I think another big 6 game too, as well as maybe the League Cup semi-finals. I've been saying, take that shit seriously. Treat it like it's the Champions League. Vlahovic will be very important for that run. There should be no reason to complain about this. I don't understand why people are against it.
Yeah, but like man said, Chelsea fans are going to complain no matter what, innit? Do you know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You're getting rid of a striker that you didn't want. How can you complain about getting Vlahovic, for a striker that you didn't want at your club anyway? Like, come on, bro. Like, that's a positive in itself. And also, you're getting a player that is potentially a top player. Do you know what I mean? Like, we know he's got the attributes. Yeah, people can say, cool, he didn't do what they thought he was going to do at Juventus, but that could be for a multitude of reasons, isn't it?
Yeah, I won't pretend I know the situation with Juventus, but I've heard from a lot of people the system has kind of let him down. So we'll see. Fact is, before pre-season, 9 out of 10 Chelsea fans would have taken Vlahovic over Jackson. Why are we complaining that we've got both? That's just good business and good intent from the owners. It's another reason to give them some credit. Bring it on. I know people are talking about 1 game a week. I understand that. Even better competition. There will still be cup fixtures. Unless we do some stupidness in the second round of the League Cup, there's going to be at least 1 extra game a month. There will be minutes off the bench. I've even heard people talking about how Jackson used to play on the wings at Villarreal, and there might be some...
Yeah, the way he plays, he could definitely do a job there, a linking play from out wide, because he's mobile and he's intelligent, so he could easily play from out wide. There's no reason why he can't anyway. He'll get minutes.
Everything I've seen from Poch, everything I've seen from the board has just told me to give him a little bit of faith. So that's what I'm going to do. We could do a little 2 up top thing. I've likened this to like, imagine in 2008, Chelsea fans complaining that we've signed Anelka when we have Didier Drogba. It's kind of the same thing. You want competition. We had 4 strikers then. We still had Shevchenko. We still had, what's his name? Claudio Pizarro. We had him that season as well. Nobody complained back then. Why are we complaining now? Bring him in immediately. Bring him in.
Yeah, 100%. But people always looking for something to moan about, and people don't understand that football is a squad game. Like when you get linked with players, people are always thinking about, yeah, but what about this player? But what about that player? And then at the end of the season, everyone gets minutes, blood. You know them ones. I remember like the whole, even last season when people were saying, Foden don't really play for City and that, bruv, the Bread played over 40 games. Like, do you know what I mean? It's one of them things where Like everyone's gonna get minutes, bro. Like, so that's what it's about. And at the end of the day, as good as Jackson is, and as much as I like him, yeah, like you don't want to be going into the season with one striker, because what happens if he gets a knock or something like that? Then what
Then
happens?
we bring in Broja. And that's been what other people are saying. What happens to Armando Broja now?
But he's been injured for God knows how long.
That's it. He's still recovering from the ACL. Respectfully, I don't care what happens to Broja when I've got VLAHOVIC and I've got Jackson in my squad. Go on loan, go develop, but it's not going to be here. And to be honest, it shouldn't. I shouldn't be looking after Nicholas Jackson thinking maybe Broja has something for me. I'm trying to wish it into existence. VLAHOVIC, I know, is going to give me more.
No, 100%. Is Caicedo really worth 100 million?
Nope, that's why we're not going to pay that. That's why this thing has been dragging for so long. And fair play to Chelsea for remaining firm to their stance. Like, I got no problems with it. I think everybody's panicking because we're now 2 weeks before 2 weeks away from the season starting. And I get it. The real problem is that this isn't ideal for us. He hasn't had a pre-season with Chelsea. Fine, I can acknowledge that. That is fair. Is it Chelsea's fault? Brighton originally promised Caicedo he could leave for 80 to 85 million, and now they're trying to pull it up to 100 because of the Declan Rice situation. No, like that's not our problem. We have a valuation, and we're going to stick to it so we don't set a precedent that we can get bent over in negotiations. Because I respectfully, United have that precedent now. Everybody's been saying with United you can bend them over. We don't want to be that club. So keep sticking in negotiations. Hopefully Caicedo starts making it difficult sooner or later, start skipping training. But if not,
he will.
I would expect that there would be plan Bs and plan Cs in place. And if they are, with the way the scouts have been so far with the players that have come in, I don't mind the plan B. I'm willing to give them that trust. They've earned that with me personally.
Yeah, 100%. Like 85 million's calm. 100 million's wild, isn't it? You'll end up getting him. Like, I don't see him playing ball with Brighton for much longer, because the fact that they've given him his word, and also they came out publicly and they said that Caicedo and McAllister will leave in the summer. They said it before the season ended. So, do you know what I mean? The fact that they're now doing this, it's going to get to a point where it gets closer to the start of the season. Players going to get itchy feet.
I just need all youth players like to learn from this situation and do not take verbal agreements. They are fake as shit. You need written agreements, not verbal bullshit. Because like this situation, and like Harry Kane, for another example as well, they can easily turn their back on that and change it. And you can't do anything because you just signed a new contract. That's the bigger problem, because he got given an understanding. The problem is that doesn't mean shit in the business world.
Facts. It really doesn't. It doesn't. They said Chelsea do great business so they can get VLAHOVIC for Lukaku plus money. Lukaku sadly a toxic presence at Chelsea. If they can get rid of replacement team. Bro, exactly. But that's why it's good business, because you're getting rid of a player you don't want. I don't understand, like why any Chelsea fan would even question this, for the simple fact that you're getting a player that's better than the player you had. You also didn't want that player anyway. So it is the best case scenario, bro.
I think with a lot of them, it's two things. Number one, which is the dumb take, where it's like, what happens to Broja? Leave it, man, please. The second one is they're worried about Nicholas Jackson's minutes, and they feel like politics is going to mean he goes in as the number one. That I wouldn't agree with if that's the case. But regardless, like, these are the good headaches you want to have. Like last season, it was no, I want Aubameyang starting over Kai Havertz. And the debate was both were crap up front. Now we've got VLAHOVIC and we've got Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson literally makes the entire Chelsea team look better just with his presence alone. VLAHOVIC, before last season, was guaranteeing you 20 goals a season.
Yeah.
What problems do we have right now? Like, it's just the midfield. It's just the goalkeeper. And to be honest, it looks like we're going to get Robert Sanchez in. And they have an opportunity to be really smart with this move, where if you don't want to look like you've been bent over, you can overpay a little bit for Robert Sanchez and get Caicedo for like the 80 to 85 million that you initially agreed on. Everybody walks away happy from that deal.
That's what I'm saying. So,
except for Brian, to be honest, because they didn't get Colwell, but they can hold that.
Yeah, but that's it. But I don't know. Brighton are moving a bit mad. Do you know what I mean? They're moving a bit mad, innit? But this is what happens when they had a decent end to. Well, I wouldn't even say a decent end. Last season, they had a lot of good PR. Let's put it that way. Because when you
Yeah.
actually look at their results and that, they're very much a yo-yo club, innit? Like good 1 week, shit the next. So
That was robbing half their backroom staff too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like they're moving like they're bigger than they are, innit? That's just how it is. And this situation with them can end up like biting them in the ass, man. This Caicedo thing, because I don't know. I'm assuming they've probably got his replacement either lined up or whatever already. But it's like
Allegedly, we took their replacements already, but I don't know. I didn't really hear that from anyone. That only Cheku guy or whatever his name is, someone we signed a few days ago.
Okay, so it's one of them ones where it's a situation where all of this mess could end up inadvertently hurting their season, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they're holding on to my man. And what's the point in having the money? You need the players. You need the players, bruv. Like, what good's the money? If they do end up with 85 million and not enough time to spend it, they could end up signing a player that doesn't do what they want them to do, bruv. It just seems like they're faffing about.
I hear it, but they have this knack of just finding some random wonder kid, and he's just brilliant. And
I know, but you can't keep doing that forever, blood. Like that never works for no club forever. Southampton had that knack before. Now where are they in the Championship?
I hear it. It only lasts you so long.
Yeah.
But they haven't got to the point where the well's going dry yet. So I can't really assume that just yet. Like with Southampton, they were dropping for a good couple years before they finally got relegated. You could see it coming. Brighton, I don't see that downturn. They must have a number 2 lined up because they should have been anticipating losing Caicedo from January.
Well, exactly.
So if they might have to overspend now because they'll have the influx coming in. Everyone will know.
Well, it's just like West Ham. Everyone knows they got that Declan Rice money, so no one ain't trying to sell them nothing. You know, like that.
Actually, no. Kudus was meant to be the replacement, but we want him too.
There you go.
So that might be it. That might be it.
There you go, bro. And look at West Ham, bro. Like they wanted to come in for us. They wanted Harry Maguire. We told them, cool, 40 million. Do you know what I mean? They wanted Scott McTominay. We told them, 50 million. Because we know they got money. You know what I'm saying?
50 million for Galadog too.
You see what I'm saying? Because we know that they have money, bruv. And the problem is, you'll rather have the player than the money, especially on deadline day, because this is when you really start, bruv, man, are making you hold your ankles, blood. Because that's what's going to happen. They're going to end up paying over the odds for someone.
That's why with Chelsea, the only thing I would say is make sure you've already started work with your replacements, because I don't know what's going to happen with this situation. It's not my money. So if you spend the 100 million, I don't really care. Like, we need the player anyway. But the bigger thing to me is just make sure that profile is filled out. I've got enough faith in the scouts that if it's not Caicedo, they will find me somebody else. The rarer profile was Enzo Fernandez. And that was the bigger necessity for me at the time, as opposed to Caicedo now. We had fuck all creativity in the midfield before he came in. He's come in and changed that, but he needs somebody else to work with. We could find somebody else if it's not Caicedo, but Caicedo's the perfect alternative. Just please, let's try and get it done by the Liverpool game. But even if not, like, I can't lie. The way some of these youth players have moved, I'll give them a game. Andre Santos and Enzo, if it comes down to it, I am fine, because I wouldn't even loan out that guy. That guy looks like he's going to be like Casemiro future in the future if he continues in the development that he's doing right now, because he's ticking all the right boxes, doing all the basics correctly, very physical on the ball. He's composed. He doesn't seem to take long to make decisions. He's doing everything right. He's been one of the most promising players for us in pre-season. So if we don't have someone sorted, you can happily have him for the Liverpool game, in my opinion. Malo Gusto as well. Fucking unbelievable. Like, I'm this close to saying he should be starting over Reece James in the first game back, because I still don't think James is fully back to his fitness. Meanwhile,
it's going to take him a while to get fit, man.
Take all the time you need. For the first time in years, we don't have to rush this guy back. Take all the time you need. Gusto can defend. He can attack. The guy's rapid. He can beat players 1v1. He's got a brazy cross on him. Start him. Fine. Like, from now on, James don't have to play more than 60 minutes a game, in my opinion.
No, I hear that. So what? You got Liverpool in the first game?
Mm-hmm.
What day is that? On Sunday?
Sunday late kickoff, 4:30.
Fucking hell, brother.
Out of
Hey,
Europe, innit? So they don't really put top 6 sides with each other.
okay. Yeah, I need to watch that still. Like that's
That game's going to be
crazy.
high scoring. It won't be another 0-0. It won't be
That's
another 0-0.
crazy. That is actually crazy. Yeah, I'm watching that, bruv.
Man said we'll give you Mount back. Nope.
Man, that Mason Mount fella.
I
Yeah.
heard he's close to 007 day
Bro,
already.
bruv, it's worse than I thought, Lewis, bruv. You know, like that, it's worse than I thought, and I thought it was gonna be bad, but it's worse. I don't know if it could ever
What's
be
he been
worse,
like?
bruv. I wish I knew that he was on the pitch. It would help.
Sounds like Mount from last season.
Bro, like
remember when I told you this guy would disappear for 60 minutes in a game?
Bruv, he's doing what McTominay does, bro. Like, honestly, like he's on the pitch, but you don't know he's there. Like, it's crazy. Like, how can a man just float through a game, like, and just not be involved at all? Like, it's crazy. Like,
He did this for us for 18 months and they gave him a Player of the Year award. Imagine that.
No, but this is the problem. This is the problem with Man United fans. I remember, yeah, like, them man used to get onto Fred, yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And I always used to tell them, I was like, listen, this guy has there's a player in there, bro. Like, man are getting onto Fred because he makes mistakes every now and then. But bro, if a player's making mistakes, at least you know he's there. He's getting involved in the game. He wants the ball. Like Fred's biggest strength and weakness is that even when he's not playing well, he always makes himself available. He always wants the ball. He always wants to be involved. This Mount geezer, nowhere to be seen, bro. At all. Like, at all in the game. Like, you just don't know he's playing. It's crazy. Like, every time man's seen him play, it's like, you have to look out for him. Because if you don't look out for him, you won't see him.
It's because he's never in the position that he's meant to be. The guy just drifts for no reason. I saw, what's his name? Mark Goldbridge's review on him. He's like, the guy just stands in Bruno Fernandes's position all the time. And it's like, no, I don't need 2 10s. I need a 10 and an 8. We had that last season. The guy just held hands with Mudryk all the time on the left wing.
Boy.
If I showed you his heat map, the guy was on the left, a season heat map. He's on the left all the time for no reason.
Yeah.
And we played him on the left once. And we lost 1-0 to bottom of the table, Southampton. He spends all of his time there, and we wonder why we have no creativity off the left-hand side. Because you're just there for no reason. All he does is just roam around, get the highest distance covered stats, and clap the fans at the end of it, and everyone just says he's a little bit passionate. But the good thing is he's with you guys now. So it means you lot will not show him the patience we did. He don't come with the whole fucking Cobham graduate, we need to give him time, he gets the club bollocks. No. You came in for 55 million and you're wearing the number 7 shirt. You need to start delivering and you need to deliver now.
He's not going to, though. That's the thing. And you know what it is, yeah? Like, I'm starting to come to the realization that I think that Mason Mount could end up being the reason why our fans turn on this manager, you know. I'll be honest, because the more I look at it, Oli had Harry Maguire, and I feel like Mason Mount could be Ten Hag's Harry Maguire. And what I mean by that is a lot of Oli's legacy gets remembered by the fact that he signed Harry Maguire for 85 million. And the manager signing this Mason Mount makes absolutely no sense. And to think that we were linked with Kudus and that would have been cheaper. Do you know what I mean? And other players like that. And he's gone and
used to play with him too, right?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And he's gone and he's got Mason Mount, bro. Like, and he pushed for Mason Mount. It's not like it was a club signing. Like, it's not like it was a club signing, bro. Like this, the manager actually actively wanted Mason Mount. And I said it at the time, yeah. This Mason Mount signing is indefensible, bro. It's indefensible. You cannot defend it. The same way you can't defend the Kai Havertz signing, yeah. Like man said, like Arteta had 3 years to watch this brother do nothing and still co-sign that. That's worrying, isn't it? The fact is, like, since Mason Mount has come on the scene, I haven't seen anything to suggest he's a Manchester United player. Do you know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't work out, the manager has to take full responsibility for that signing, bro. You can't blame no one else because he weren't on Man United's radar before Ten Hag. He wasn't. I don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is what it
He's
is,
got to
bro.
force his way. He can't do a thing where Mount just stays in the lineup regardless of his performances, because that's what happened at Chelsea, and it started turning fans against Tuchel. It started turning fans against Graham Potter. He can't. That's the only thing, because he will be hung out to dry if/when this deal doesn't work out. But there'll also be a little essence of he needs to be given time. I also think the English factor will play a little bit of a part with him. But it's going to be a very big topic for you guys this season. Fact is, like, as long as you lot progress, I don't think it's going to be something that he really gets beaten up about. But if you lot go backwards, if you lot don't win a trophy at the end of the season, and Mount is one of your worst performers and he has one of the highest minutes, it's long for him. Because the same energy with Arteta, I said Arteta is going to be judged heavily on whether this Havertz transfer works. Mount's the same. You bought a flop from a rival that fans were very indifferent on getting rid of. I'd say more indifferent for you as opposed to Arsenal with Havertz. The majority of the fans were happy to get rid of him. But for Mount, it didn't make sense. He was declining. You've given him 250k a week. We didn't sign him because we didn't want to give him those wages and we valued him a lot less. It's up to Ten Hag to show why he valued him at that level. And if he doesn't, I'm not saying you sack him. I'm not saying Ten Hag out, but that ain't a good look. And I wouldn't really trust his judgment on signings in the future if that's the case.
But this is the thing, because people are saying it's only pre-season, but bro, the beauty of pre-season is you don't see the full picture, but you see an outline. That's what pre-season is.
Exactly.
That's what pre-season is.
I always say, it's only pre-season. No. We were dog shit last season, and I knew we were going to have a bad season. 15-16, we didn't win a single game in 90 minutes. Oh, I knew we were going to have a bad season. Finished 10th. Like, now we've had a brilliant preseason. I'm so gassed for the first game. We play Liverpool, who debatably are more ready for the season than we are. I'm ready. I'm looking forward to it, though, because this team actually gives me a little bit of faith and confidence. You guys, I won't lie, Mason Mount's biggest statement in preseason was that he played better than Havertz when he played against Arsenal.
Exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is exactly what it is. It's like, you know what I don't understand about, well, actually I do understand it about football fans, because most of these guys don't know shit about football, but it's like, you don't need to see a player play loads and loads and loads of minutes to understand what you're getting. You don't. Like, where has this theory come from? Where has it come from? Do you honestly think that Brighton as an example, a team that everyone thinks are amazing at signing players, do you think that Brighton are sending scouts to go and watch players for hours and hours and hours and hours before they realize that they're good enough, bro? Because how many scouts do you think that these men have, Brad? What do you think these men ain't got nothing to do? It's just like people think that transfers happen one at a time. What do you think? My man sits down and you're only chatting to one player at a time until the deal gets done. Then you're going and talking to other people. Bro, you've got shit to do, bro. Did a player have certain attributes, certain traits that can work in your system? Yes or no? That is it. You don't need to see a football player for 16 games in a season, half the season, to understand whether they can do a job for you. The same way, when you're watching a player in pre-season, you didn't have to watch Kobe Mino, during pre-season, every single game to know there was a player in there. You can see there's a player in there after 5 minutes.
I remember Billy Gilmore's debut. Took me the first half against Liverpool to be like, nah, you know what? This kid's got something, You can see something. Nicholas Jackson, 2-3 games. I'm like, I was already saying, fuck VLAHOVIC, fuck all of these strikers. I don't care. I am happy with Nicholas Jackson. Now we're getting VLAHOVIC again, not complaining, but all you need is a couple games to get an understanding of these players. For me, all the youth players have impressed. All the veterans, other than Thiago Silva, have kind of stunk personally. But that pre-season gives you that sort of indication. I won't lie, though. I've been seeing some of the names of other 10s you lot could have got. McAllister, fucking Madison, Kudus. Elise is now on the market as well.
Yeah.
Man said Mount, bruv. Like, Ten Hag's got to make it work.
But this is what I'm saying.
At least it's better than Havertz, at least. But that doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean much.
Bruv, you know what it is, Like, we don't have a leg to stand on. We don't have a leg to stand on. We got Mount because the manager wanted Mount, period. Like that. We spent 90 million or 85 million on Anthony because the manager wanted that. Period. No one could turn around and say this manager has not been backed. All of this falls on his head. All of it. If it doesn't work out, he has to hold that. Do you know what I mean? There's no, because you know what it is, yeah? You know what it is with Man United fans? They always come out, oh, the manager wasn't backed, this, that, and the other. The only manager that we've had that wasn't backed, yeah, was David Moyes. He's the only one that wasn't backed to a certain degree. He wasn't backed at all. You know, like that. He wanted loads of players. He didn't get them. And we know that for a fact.
Fabregas and all sorts.
Yeah, he wanted Fabregas, bruv. We matched Real Madrid's bid for Gareth Bale, yeah, and he'd already agreed to go to Real Madrid. That wasn't Moyes' fault, but at least Moyes was showing some intent to get proper players in.
That would have been a crazy signing.
You know
Fuck it, hell.
Like, bro, like man ended up. We signed Di Maria, Falcao. Van Gaal wasn't backed, but he was backed to a certain degree. Cool, he didn't get his first choice players, but these guys brought in an average of 5 players in their first window. Jose and Van Gaal, in their first 2 windows, they brought in about 9 players, bro. Do you know what I mean? You can say Jose wasn't back because they didn't give him Harry Maguire. Are you mad? We signed Pogba
he got back.
We signed Pogba, yeah, and Zlatan in Jose's first season, but man will say he wasn't back.
Then Lukaku,
Lukaku. How much did we spend on Lukaku?
Lindelof.
90 million. Come on.
You got like hella defenders. I remember it got to a point when Mourinho wanted more, and they were like, "No, we've given you enough." Like,
bro, but this is crazy, bro. Mourinho wanted what's his name? Perisic. Is man mad? He wanted Perisic, blood. When we signed,
maybe when he was a bit younger, there might have been a tune out of him.
Bro, he wanted like 34, bro. I'm not having it. You know them ones. All these Man United fans want to fucking make excuses, yeah? Ten Hag is the most back manager out of all of them because he's got precisely who he's wanted. Van Gaal argued that he didn't get his first choice players, but him and Jose also said that they had a list of players, first choice, second choice, whatever. And then they gave it to the club and the club got them who they got them. But they got them players that were on that list, whether it was their first or second choice. This brother's getting his first fucking choice players, bro. First choice players. He's got no.
That's why there has to be improvement. Like, you guys got to contend for the title. You got to drag it out to at least the last few weeks. You got to win another trophy.
Yeah.
You guys are in the Champions League, so yeah, not really too sure about that. But the domestics, you got to try and take that one seriously.
Yeah, bro. Like, this whole backing a manager, bro, like, it's one of them ones where I don't understand what people constitute as backing a manager and not backing a manager.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because the one thing I've noticed is that when you talk about a manager or an owner, you can only ever be in or out. You can never be on the fence. You can never be critical and still back the manager. If you're critical, then suddenly you're Ten Hag out or you're Potter out or Poch out or whatever. There's got to be a middle line. You can say, I rate this manager.
This is it.
He's made bad decisions. Is what it is.
But this is it. The thing is, yeah, like, even with my futsal club, yeah, I own a club. Like, if I don't give the manager everything he wants, that doesn't mean that I'm not backing him. That means as a businessman, I have to make certain decisions, yeah, in the interest of business. Do you know what I mean? The manager might want something, and I might say, you know what, this doesn't make sense based on what my parameters for doing business are. That doesn't mean I'm not backing you. I'm running the club as a business. I will back you, but it has to be in line with how we're doing things at the club. It has to be in line with that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not, oh yeah, do whatever you want with it. Like, that's not how you back someone. That's how you allow someone to run your business into the ground. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, backing someone, yeah, is helping them improve on what they currently have, even if it's not the player that they want.
It's just communication.
That's all
Simple
it is.
Just communication.
That's all it is. So they're saying because the manager didn't get every single player they wanted, they haven't been backed. Do you think that Pep gets every single player that he wants at Man City? He doesn't.
Nah,
he doesn't.
Nah, nobody. You're too used to it at Chelsea. Nobody does.
But I mean, no manager gets every single player they want, bruv. Like, no manager. Like, that doesn't exist in football, bro. Do you know what I mean? Look at the amount of times Pep was linked with Jorginho. He ended up at Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying? Pep was linked with Harry Maguire. He was linked with Fred. He was linked with Alexis. At one point, he would have wanted all of these players. But it's how much did he want them? And how much were Man City willing to pay that money? Like, Pep
even last season, Cucurella. They wanted him, only 40 million they valued him at.
100%. Do you know what I'm saying? They wanted Harry Kane as well. They didn't end up getting Harry Kane. He got Erling Haaland instead. Do you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that he didn't want Harry Kane, bruv. Like, what do you mean? Like, no manager gets every single player they want. They're not in control of the money. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's it. That's it. But people, I think, delve into everything way too deep in the side. If you don't get a certain player, then the manager hasn't been properly backed. No, he hasn't been properly backed if you guys are panic buying somebody in deadline day that you've never spoken about or never once been linked with. That's not being backed. That's a panic buy. That's not really following a plan. It's like, shit, we need to fill a position. There you go. We'll take him. Like what most managers I've seen in the Premier League right now, all being backed.
Yeah.
All up to Klopp's got his targets. Poch is getting his targets. You guys have got your targets. Arsenal as well. Everybody has been backed, in my opinion.
100%. And this Klopp thing is spot on. Mo Salah wasn't his first choice. Neither was Sadio Mane. He went and he won a Premier League and a Champions League with them. So what does that mean? What does
That's
that
the
mean?
thing, because at the start of the season, they would have run that whole thing that Klopp hasn't got his main targets, and then end the season, bam.
But
this you can't really judge those things that early,
bro.
Maybe it's a point where you have to see how things play out through the season, and then you can decide with newer evidence that's brought in, probably from sources as well as the football you see on the pitch. You can decide whether a manager's been properly backed or not.
Exactly. Like, it's nonsensical that you could turn around and say this manager hasn't been backed yet when signings are being made. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, not being backed is Pochettino at Tottenham not making no signings for, I think, 2 or 3 windows in a row. They didn't sign a single player. Like,
or that Arsenal window where they only brought in Czech and no one else.
But that's what not being backed looks like. Do you know what I'm saying?
Because they finished second that season to Leicester.
That's never happened at my club. Do you know what I mean? So for them to turn around and say not being backed, bro, like, it's a cheap way out, innit? It's one of them ones where I hate these owners, innit? I hate these owners, but there's only certain things that I'm gonna accuse them of. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna accuse man that spending on average 200 million a window of not backing managers. Like, that's nonsensical because the owners don't sign players.
That's the thing. As long as you can be against it, but you just have to be clear about where your stance is at.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Like, these men just start talking shit, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is why their arguments fall apart, because it's like, you can be angry, yeah, but your argument needs to stand up. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of these people,
like, some managers shouldn't be back. Big up Tuchel, but some of his talent decisions were off.
Well, there
I
you
wanted
go.
Anthony Gordon. He wanted to sell Levi Colwill. Sold off Gilmore.
But this is what I'm saying, and this is what Ten Hag's doing right now, whether people like it or not. Bringing in Mason
Mount. Bowley and the others came in and said, nope, not doing that.
Bringing in Mason Mount, is going to be the hill potentially that he dies on if he dies on one.
It will say a lot about him if he chooses to die on it. Because I see Ten Hag as a ruthless manager who don't take a lot of shit. If he allows Mason Mount to be a bum all season and keeps giving him minutes,
he's given this spread a number 7. Do you know what I'm saying? And that is the.
But was that him or was that his personal decision?
Nah,
because I could see Mount being ego-driven enough to just.
Nah, but you can tell a player they can't have a number, bro. Like, they can't just take whatever they want. That's not how football works. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not how football works.
The manager gives the number, or the player gets to decide between.
The player can ask for it, they can request it, but the club can say, "Nah, we're keeping that for someone else," or "Nah, that's not available." Like, they said that they offered him the number 7 as a sweetener to get him to come to us, because there were other clubs
my gosh.
Liverpool and Arsenal were also in for him.
The club offered it.
This is what I'm saying. It was offered, bro.
Oh my gosh, what? I thought it was him. No, it was you.
No, bro, we offered him that.
That is insane.
This is what I'm trying to say, bro. Like, this is different. Like, people don't understand the layers to this. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't understand the layers to this. So because of that, it's like he has to come good. If he doesn't come good, people are gonna have this over the manager's head, and you can't blame them, because that's a massive signing. It was the first signing.
Like when we gave the number 26 to Koulibaly.
Bruv, It's a massive signing, bro. I can't even
I
lie.
can't, but that spun my head. Like, you man just handed him the number 7 shirt
Yeah, just like that. Just like that.
and 250K a week.
There you
What
go.
the
So he can't come in and not impact the season. He has to be the catalyst in us improving this season, or else, bro, like it's gonna fall on the manager. Like I know what football fans are like. I've seen loads of people already questioning it, man. It's pre-season.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense, and he's already not proven it. Like, Nicholas Jackson didn't make sense initially. If you ask everyone before the first game against Wrexham, fucking Wrexham in pre-season, everybody wants to strike already before that fixture. One game against Wrexham, everybody's like, nope, I'm happy with him having another game. The next game against, I forgot what Premier League team it is. I don't remember. But the point still stands. Did even better, got 2 assists and a goal. Nobody is saying nothing. If Mount had 2 games like that, you lot would be gassing the fuck out of him. You lot would be like, oh, why did Chelsea get rid of him? This guy's a brilliant signing and all of this shit.
Nah, he
not showing anything in pre-season, despite missing the last 3 months of the season for us. So it's not even a fitness thing. The guy should be sharp. The guy should be ready, should be cleared of all his injuries and all of that shit. Oh, Brighton. Yeah, that's another reason why I'm gassed for the season. We've been playing mostly Premier League sides that battered us last season. Brighton, Newcastle, Fulham. So I'm looking forward to this.
Nah, bro. Fair enough. Big up Connor for the super chat. Who would your ideal signing this season be? What, one signing? Bro, to be fair, I don't have an ideal signing, yeah, because based on the football that the manager wants to play, bruv, I just need to see who he brings in. Like I said, I still think that Amrabat is the key signing for Man United, isn't it? Like they have to get him in because this midfield of Bruno and Mount, that's not gonna do us this season. I'm sorry. Like if the window closes right now and we have to do this Bruno and Mount thing, yeah, for the rest of the season, we're in trouble, bruv. We're in trouble because it doesn't work. I've already seen enough this preseason to see that it doesn't work. When Kobe Mino, yeah, and even Scott McTominay and Donny van der Beek here are doing more than them two, bro, questions need to be asked. I'll be real. Like, it's not that balance of midfield doesn't work. I don't think it's to do with tactics. I don't think it's to do with time together. It's just not good. They're two of the same player. They're two of the same player. They're identical. They're identical players, and they're equally as bad as each other. They just have different strengths, but they're very similar in profile. So having two players like that aren't very good, yeah, in the midfield, and also leave a lot of space for Casemiro to get exposed as well, because they both like to make forward runs. It's a recipe for disaster, man. It really is, especially against the bigger teams. We will get killed. We will get killed, bruv.
I hear it, but the bigger question is going to be whether he actually persists with that or not. Because that's a problem now. If you still have that same problem in 2 months and he hasn't tried anything else to rectify it, that's an even bigger question mark. So what do you expect to happen with this deal? Do you expect them to just learn how to play together? Because with Mount, like, first you need to see some attributes from him on the ball. The best I've heard from Mount since he's joined you guys is that he's had the least touches and that's the best role for him. And it's like, well, you didn't need to spend 55 million on that. You could get anybody to just run around for 90 minutes and just be directionless. Just get someone off the Stretford end. They have the same passion.
But this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, this brother, like, playing a half of football, and I think someone said he had 18 touches or something like that, bro. Like, 18
I think that was the
touches.
United Arsenal game.
Yeah, 18 touches. Bruv, that's unbelievable, bro. Like, what the hell? You're a midfielder. Like, midfielders are supposed to be on the ball all the time.
It's low-key how you get the best out of him, because all of his best attributes aren't on the ball. It's just about his pressing and just forcing quicker decisions out of the opposition players and all of that shit. Because football's meant to be played off the ball.
No, 100%. Football is 100% played off the ball, but it's like even this thing about Casemiro, exactly. Casemiro has never been a first phase player, and the problem is, yeah, that people don't understand football in it, in the sense that just because he's a destroyer and he breaks up play, yeah, like there's different types of DMs, if you could even call him that. Do you know what I mean? And you could, if you actually watched Casemiro, you could argue that he's he's not a traditional six. He's not a first phase player. Like, he's not a deep lying playmaker that's gonna pick up the ball, and distribute. He's not that guy. When you watch Real Madrid, it was Modric or Kroos that used to come and pick up the ball off the centre backs. They used to bypass Casemiro because Casemiro is the guy that breaks up the play. He's not the guy that orchestrates. He's not the guy that sets tempos. So when
I've seen
people are
a man getting that Casemiro over the last few weeks.
well, exactly. Casemiro is getting heat, because the other two men are shit. That's just how it is. And also because people don't have the football IQ to understand, they don't have the football IQ to understand there's different ways to play that role. Do you know what I'm saying? Like your Makalelis or your Busquets, they're not the same type. Your Pirlo used to play that deep lying playmaker role, but he wasn't someone that broke up play. He wasn't a tackler, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? We look at Jorginho as well. Like, Jorginho is someone who picks up the ball, distributes and that, but he's not going to be running around clamping people. That's not how he plays it. Michael Carrick was similar. Michael Carrick played that position in a different way to the way that Gilberto Silva might have played it or someone else might have played it. There's different ways to play that position, that number 6 position. Everyone thinks that there's only one way to play that position. There's not. And that's why midfield partnerships are important. Midfield partnerships are just as important as centre-back partnerships.
You need that cohesive. You need cohesion.
Well, there you go. And look at this. Marquinhos and Vidal done all the ugly stuff, and Pirlo done the distro. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is what it is. You need certain profiles of players, to do different things.
And when we had Jorginho, we had Kante and Kovacic doing that work.
But this is
Makaleli, it was like
you
Lampard.
Needed Kante to do Jorginho's running. That was why it worked. Certain people think that Kante's a DM, bro. Kante could never play in a lone pivot in the 6. Never.
Lampard was the only one crazy enough to try that, and he got sacked 2 months afterwards. I have argued with Chelsea fans for years over, Kante, he's a proper DM because FIFA put him as a DM in their ultimate team and all this bollocks. But nobody has played him as a lone DM except for Frank Lampard. Is that really the man you're going to advocate for?
Well, there you go. Like, Kante is a pivot player. He's the runner next to the Pirlos, next to the Jorginhos, the deep lying playmakers. He's the guy that does the running. He's the guy that effectively what Casemiro is supposed to do. Casemiro is meant to do what Kante does, breaking up the play next to someone that can get their foot on the ball and dictate. That is why the De Jong Casemiro thing would have worked. This is why we need someone that can come and initiate the first phase of play next to Casemiro. Like, you can't be fucking getting onto Casemiro because he's not good at everything. Like, what midfielder is these days?
And the other 2 midfielders don't have any defensive awareness. I remember one pre-season game against Arsenal last season. We did, what was it? Jorginho, Gallagher and Mount midfield 3. We lost 4-0. We lost 4-0. I said, I never want to see them 2 in a midfield again. First game we had back after the January transfer window when we signed Enzo. What did Graham Potter do to poor Enzo? Put him next to them 2 again, and we got doggied by Fulham for 90 minutes.
There you go. Like, Mount and Gallagher, two ill-disciplined midfielders that just run around, and it just leaves your pivot exposed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
and that does. Gallagher one. That's also for I saw people saying Havertz got 2 goals and Mount didn't. Gallagher got 2 goals. You've been one of our worst players in pre-season. Don't mean shit. But this is exactly what it is, and people don't understand the balance in it. They don't understand that in football, and that's the problem, and that's why you get players like scapegoating the wrong players. It's like football is very much a team game. It's a system game. If the team is not balanced properly, like just the player that looks like is at fault a lot of the time isn't at fault because it's always a chain of events. It's always a chain of events. At Chelsea always got ripped just because other players weren't around him. And it's because he looked like the slowest player out of the lot. Aubameyang as well last season. Aubameyang got ripped just because Mount couldn't pass and Havertz couldn't pass. He's washed, same as Lukaku. To an extent, Timo Werner, but he did get his chances. It's just a case of favourites. Like now it's Cucurella. Cucurella gets ripped apart for being as bad as Chilwell's been over the last year. But Chilwell gets mollycoddled and protected because he had injury problems, even though Cucurella literally had tonsillitis and off-the-field issues too. Like, people just back their favourites.
100%, but that's what man said. It's not a football opinion. It's pure dislike of a player, and this is what happens. This is what happens on Twitter. You know the one. This is exactly what happens on Twitter.
Player hives and everything.
That's exactly what happens, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? These men are like, you know what? We're gonna defend this player by any means, and usually, defending a player looks like trashing another one. You know, like that.
I've never said anything on Twitter that has ever insulted Chilwell. I've just said give him the same energy as Cucurella. Now suddenly I have a Chilwell agenda. All I've said is treat them the same. Oh, you hate the English. Okay, I literally want Lewis Hall starting over him. Now what? What have I ever said about Colwell, Madueke, Reece James? But when it's Mount or Gallagher or Chilwell, suddenly I just hate the English. Any BS narrative that they want to run.
100%. And that's just how it is. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you can back your player, yeah, without trying to single out other players to make your player look better. Because it's like, if your player's good, you don't need to talk down other players, bro. Like, your player needs to speak for themselves with their performances. You know, like that.
Like, have favorite players and all of that, but you need to just be able to listen to criticism on them. Like, I was a massive Christensen fan back in the day. But after, like, the performances against Real Madrid at home, where he was getting cooked by Vinicius, Arsenal at home, when Nketiah had him in a spliff, and he was already leaving to join to Barca, I was saying, stop playing him. Man's head ain't here. He's in Spain, so stop playing the guy. I don't care if he's one of my favourites. Same thing with, like, Jorginho. Like, big up to Jorginho. Never wished him any success at Arsenal. I never will. You got to put the club first. Like, regardless of whether you have favourite players or not, you got to put the club first. But one thing I've noticed is since the transfer ban, Chelsea fans don't do that as much anymore because we brought in so many youth players. Everybody wants to invest stocks in one of them and they want to just back them over anybody else. Either that or they just straight fancy the player because some men are on that and they just won't want to admit it. And it's fine. It's 2023. Nobody judges. But at least let us know so we know where you truly stand on this situation.
Yeah, but come on, man. You see this shit all the time and you know that it's got to be deeper than the football team because some of these things are not making sense, innit? The maths are not maths.
I know, it's just when they try gaslight you after, it's like, no, I just appreciate the guy's football. Don't tell me you watch Havertz every week and you appreciate his football. Don't even piss me off like that. Just tell me you fancy. It's fine. It's genuinely fine. Just admit it.
No, you're right. No, you're 100% right. Like, what can we say? You know what I mean? What can we say, innit? Like, it's just one of them things. It's actually jarring, and that's why, like, it's good to have spaces where you can just talk about football. Do you know what I mean? You lot smash the like button. We got what 1.3k in here, bro. We ain't even reached 500 likes, man. You lot are smelling, bro. We ain't even reached 400. Like,
that's poor, guys.
You man are taking a piss, bro. Free content. You know what I'm saying? Every single day you get free content.
Just because we're talking about Mount, don't mean you have to have his accuracy.
Hit that bro, it's button. That. Smash that like button, people. I mean, get that up, bro. Now, I mean, that should be a minimum 600 by now. Do you know what I'm saying? So you don't need to pattern it up, bruv. You know what I mean? Man said, are the Mbappe links real? But listen, I don't think so. They're saying that, bruv, PSG are weird, innit? Because they're saying, they're potentially going to go to what, UEFA about Real Madrid, but why?
Why? Apparently he's been tapping them up, but it's from Marca, so I don't really know.
Yeah, but everyone does that though. Like, it's known that everyone does that. It's not about tapping up. Like, you offered this brother a 2-year extension, yeah, and he basically told you a year ahead, yeah, that like he's not gonna be renewing after that, bro. Like, there's no wrongdoing. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, the player don't want to stay at the club. Exactly. The player don't want to stay at the club because you didn't win the Champions League. You don't look like you know what you're doing. And he wants to go somewhere where there's a plan in place. Like, what's there to complain about? Like, you can't compete with Real Madrid. And that's why they say money can't buy class, bro. Like, Real Madrid have a history that PSG will never be able to compete with. And they've been so poorly run. They ain't got a leg to stand on, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's one of them ones where this is it. PSG, it's like, it's one of them things where, like, they're just, it's jealousy, bro. You know, like that. And this is what happens. This is what happens, man. Them, you know, if you leave a gal for a next gal, do you know what I mean? Sometimes this girl's like, you know what, all right, cool, he's leaving me, but I'm gonna try and ruin his life. That's what it is. Just move on. You know what I mean? You lost. You know, like that. You lost. Why are you being petty for? You know, like that. And that's just what it is. It just seems like they're
just
mad
pissed
petty.
that they're gonna lose him for free.
That's it. That's it.
Or if they don't want to, they can try and get a deal sorted with us, because our name keeps rolling around in this whole Mbappe thing. And I'm starting to think, is Boli crazy enough to try and get VLAHOVIC, Mbappe, and Caicedo in the same window? I don't know in it, but you know what? I rate the effort. Go for it.
You're not getting Mbappe, bro. Like they're saying that Liverpool contacted them about getting Mbappe on loan and that, and then Chelsea tried and all that. Bruv, listen, Mbappe.
Hey, you could loan him to us, and we ain't in the Champions League, so we.
Chelsea's not going nowhere on loan. Like, I mean, Mbappe's not going nowhere on loan. Like, he's going for money this summer. That's what's gonna happen. I feel like Real Madrid are just gonna pay money.
Hey, Chelsea, whoever has to go in that player plus cash deal, as long as it's not Enzo, Reece James, or Nicholas Jackson, it's fine. It is fine, personally. Like, just the thought of Nicholas Jackson and Kylian Mbappe linking up. Fucking
bro,
hell,
at the end of the day, yeah,
hell.
you gotta understand, yeah, that Mbappe turned down like an obscene amount of money, yeah, in Saudi, yeah, for 1 year. He's not gonna go Chelsea or Liverpool. Like, he's going to Real Madrid. Like, if he wasn't going to Real Madrid, he could have just taken the Saudi money for a year.
I know. I can dream though. I can dream.
Yeah.
A 1 year loan move, just come piss the Premier League and then go.
But the Saudi could have been a 1 year loan move. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is. It could have been a 1 year loan move that.
And then the only other argument could be UCL, and we don't have that. So.
But that's what I'm saying. It would have been a 1 year loan move to Saudi Arabia, and then you go to Real Madrid on a free. Do you know what I'm saying? The fact that he turned down Saudi, he's not going to go to Chelsea or Liverpool, because those are moves that would make less sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
Though, didn't he get his best numbers on the Poch? Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to find anything on this one. I won't lie. I'm trying to find any way to get Mbappe to this football club.
It just doesn't make sense.
Fucking statement signing. What was that?
It just doesn't make sense.
Mbappe won't be joining on the same wages. PSG spread their cheeks for him differently. He will take a pay cut, but he would be still our highest earner. And fine, Sterling's our highest earner. He's been our worst player in preseason.
Yeah,
fine. He deserves more than him.
Yeah,
and we're getting Lukaku's wages off the book too, so even better.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
I think Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, and he spends the bulk of his career there, bruv. Do you know what I mean? That's what's gonna happen.
But even with Vinny there and taking the 7 shirt, I don't know how much it means with him specifically, but
Mbappe can go. But the number 9's there. Benzema's 9's there, no?
Yeah, I guess. Like, you can change the brand.
Just go take the number 9, bruv. You know what I mean? And then he'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be him up front, Vinny, Rodrigo, I'm guessing. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, man. Like, it's a minor, you know, like that. I think he goes there, and it's one of them ones where if he wanted a year loan somewhere, he would have gone to Saudi for the money. It's inoffensive, and it's an easy league for him. He wouldn't even have to exert himself. Do you know what I mean? You could just see it as a long preseason to go to Real Madrid and make a lot of money. The fact that he hasn't gone there, he's calm.
Surprising.
Yeah, he's calm, bro. Like, he's definitely going to Real Madrid.
Because that's feeding the next 10 generations before the Madrid money even rolls through.
That's it. So he's cool. He's not going Chelsea. He's not going Liverpool. He's nice. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't make sense. Chelsea are open to offers for Cucurella. Like,
that's fine, but like, they should be open to offers for Chilwell too, in my opinion. Our best 2 left backs are Hall and Maatsen.
Did you hold on? Cucurella was only last season you signed him, right?
Yeah, I would have given him the second season, but I mean, if you get an offer, we have 4 left backs. You might as well get rid of somebody. But I don't get why we're listening to offers for Cucurella, but we don't want to listen to anything for Chilwell. Like, what? What are we doing? Fine, whatever. I still think Cucurella's had the better preseason out of the 2. They just both have problems. Chilwell is just so shaky defensively in a 4 and has a terrible touch. Cucurella has these dumb lapses in concentration or these indecisive moments where he doesn't know whether to press or to stick to his position. And it's like, bro, pick a side and just commit. It's like neither of them are really the flavor of the month, but at least Cucurella can defend a little bit better. Chilwell scares me unless he's in the back five.
No, fairs. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, bruv, because that would mean Koulibaly's gone. And if he leaves as well, then, bruv, man are getting rid of players that you just signed.
Aubameyang's gone too. He went on a free.
Fucking hell, bruv. No, yeah, but boy, you're doing
all those signings were before the new directors came in.
So literally, they're just righting the wrongs of the guys before. That's actually crazy.
Like their efficiency has been brilliant. And that's why I'm saying I'm giving these owners, I'm giving the board time. And if they go for any unknown targets, fine. We'll see how they do. How they do. Chilwell hasn't had a full season for 2 years. Yeah, Cucurella had the same off the field issues, but people slag him off every week, but they want to give Chilwell every chance. Yeah, Chilwell's only looked good in a 5. We're not playing in a 5 anymore. So I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at a 4, and I need him to be better defensively, and he's not that. The amount of times I've seen him get beaten in pre-season, even by fucking Wrexham. By Wrexham attackers. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's not
like all I want to do. If you improve defensively, fine. I ain't gonna say nothing because that's all I need. But I need my defenders to defend first, and you don't do that. I don't
know, bro. You know what I'm saying? You lot get them lights.
I see we got Chilwell stands in the comment section though. Boo fucking who? Cry more.
That's it. You lot get them lights up, man. We need at least 600, man. We got what 1,300 in here. Taking
that might mean they don't go for Elise. Nice.
Man City have added Jeremy Doku to the list of potential replacement. I can't see it. Isn't Doku right-footed though?
I don't know a lot about the kid. I won't lie. I know he's like a prospect and everything, but
man saw him at like a Euros or something like that, I believe, bro. And he just P, bro. Like I never rated him. Still, I thought that
position was there for Elise. I didn't think we were going to get him, but if they go for Doku instead, fine.
I don't know, bro. Like Doku plays on the left, no, not the right. How is that a replacement? You just got mad pace, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying? You just got mad pace, but I don't understand.
Maybe they're trying to get more pace back in the wings.
Maybe, but he doesn't strike me as a pet player. But maybe that's their Raheem Sterling replacement. I don't know. Yeah, maybe no.
Or maybe they could just take Sterling back. Might as well.
That's weird. I don't know, man.
If they need a Sterling replacement, you might as well take the real thing. You might as well just take the real thing. We'll do a cut price deal.
I don't know. The man is saying he's right wing, but he's right-footed. Yeah, I don't know. He's not. Bro, from what I saw, yeah, like he's just a pace abuse, blood. That's it. Like, nah, I don't know.
I think we played him the season we won the Champions League. He never really stood out for me. That was also 2 years ago, so.
I don't really know. I really don't know, innit? But you know what? Pep's always got something up his sleeve, like that. So who knows? Who knows, innit? Man said he's a B-Tech money. Like Pep's always got something up his sleeve. Maybe he wants more direct, pacey wingers to switch it up. Because obviously Grealish and Mahrez are inverted and technical. So maybe he just wants someone that's just quick, do you know what I mean? And can give them a different look. Maybe. Do you know what I mean? Like, who knows, innit? Like, listen, Pep knows what he's doing. So
plus at his age, he's coachable.
Yeah, 100%. So listen, I'll be real. If Pep wants him, there might be something there in it, but I don't see it. You know what I mean? I don't see him signing Doku.
I think Elise makes way more sense, but it's a name on a list, so we don't know if he's number 1 there or number 2 or whatever. Yeah. He's just a name there.
Exactly. So I don't know. We have to see, people, but who knows? Hey, guys, get these likes up to 600, man. Do you know what I mean? Get these lights up, man. The ratios are appalling. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's not a good one. Still, it's not a good one, people.
Poor guys. It's poor. Run up the likes, people. Run up the likes. So yeah. Season's about to start. Let's get energetic.
That's what I'm saying. So you lot need to pattern that up, people.
Speaking of, I need to like it.
Yeah, man. Also, you guys make sure you follow Lewis's channel as well. The link is in the title, guys. Let's get these likes up before you head out, please. What you got going on, bro, for the rest of the day?
A busy one. I'm live in at 3 o'clock, and then I'm on Saeed's channel at 5:30 for Best of the Rest. Then I'm on Hussam's channel at 10 p.m. So stay tuned, people. Stay tuned. We're gonna be going through all the latest transfers. There's a fucking lot today. So yeah, check it out in 50 minutes, people. Big up.
Big up, people. So you already know what to do, man. Like, absolutely make sure you follow up Lewis, man. Always got quality content coming up. And also make sure you like the stream, guys. I'll be back at 6 o'clock with Saba, people. So big up yourselves. Smash the like on the way out, and I'll see you guys